And I'm on. Okay, so now I am on. I'm hanging out by myself. I'm on. On video. So this should be the latest one you should get. And I just put, there's two of them. I put trying again, but it's the second one that says trying again. I guess I should have named it trying a third time so you know which was which. Yeah, do the second one. No, there's one that says May 11th, which is today. And go with 7/16. Well, you can see me. That's good. So then you can see me. Okay, so what am I not doing? Hold on. So at see at the top where it says turn, there's a little person and there's a mute button and then a turn camera off. Is yours off? Do you need to click on? Okay. So with what I see is I see at the top of my screen, I see myself, and then I see Google Plus, and then about dead center at the top of a black bar at the top of my screen, I see the little person with a plus sign, the microphone, the camera, and you don't see any of those icons. Wow, that is so weird. Okay, so what were you using to do it before? So maybe we can do it your way. Okay. Yeah, this is free too. Yeah. Because they're profiling you to send you advertisements on something. Oh yeah, maybe you might need. Does it give you the option to create a Hangout? So you can create a Hangout. You could create a Hangout now, make sure it's today's date, and then invite me, and then it should ring me, and I can click on. Maybe that would be easier. Well, I will say it was very helpful when I started back to college. My daughter's in college also, so it made it easier because, and she'll come over and she'll go, and like fix it real fast. I'm like, thank you. But I think after we set it up, it's up and running, so you should be able to get on somehow, and I'm broadcasting live, so I should be able to invite you once you have you've got an account set now. Okay, and so what is your send invite as to share permanently. What did you put as your username? Maybe. What username did you put on? Let me see if I put MP EBLE. Oh, it doesn't show up. MP. Okay. What is your other email? Yeah, MPEBLE. It doesn't. So it sounds like you can see me, but you can't join because you don't have an account, is what I'm guessing. But we can always do this over the phone and then figure it out. I mean, it's either way. Well, I generally have the weekends off, so I'm dead in the water when I can't get stuff done on Sundays. It kills me. So what do you just? Okay. So let's. I started the sample contract. Well, we've got several things we've got to do. If that other person is not joining us, there will only be 3 of us. And if that's the case, then you and I are the majority vote. Right, but 5 topics. No. You know what? Let me email the instructor and say if we don't have a full group, are we responsible to do that or just do 1 question? Yeah, you might be right. Right. Well, I'm guessing we just take 1 and then answer each other's. But I'll send Linda Perez an email. She's been really responsive. So it's totally okay. I really didn't care. The only reason I mentioned it was so that we all post in the same area. Oh, well, it's all right. If that's the worst thing you do, you know. So you had said, so in order to do the other questions, we got to decide on our scenario. And you had indicated community clinic, outpatient, hospice. I did the same 3, just in a different order. To be honest, I really don't care. And they got it right. You just gotta merge it, move it. Got it. Yeah, it sounded to me like it's a matter of moving the other business into the other one, doing the logistics. It's already got radiology over there. I'm totally fine with it. I thought it would actually be much easier than starting from scratch, which is what. So, and the only reason I put the other two down is because one, I'm interested in hospice, and two, community clinics are the big thing right now. But I am perfectly fine with saying that our outpatient imaging is our number one, because we have to do a number one, number two, number three. Yeah. Well, we can do outpatient. I'm good with doing the outpatient imaging as our first choice. And then which would you prefer as the second, the community clinic or the hospice? Well, why don't we do outpatient clinic or imaging is first, hospice is second, and community clinic is third, if that's okay with you. And then, was your understanding that we had to wait for her to approve it before we could do our questions? Okay. Well, because I can't do my small group discussion because the other questions other than the one you're doing are based on the scenario, your selected scenario. Oh, I read it as how does your healthcare business scenario, the one you chose. I read it as the one you chose. Okay, well, I can get clarification on that too. Right. That I did, but it says for your selected scenario. It says when they formulate data for your selected scenario. So I'm thinking, but I didn't see that she had to approve it. I thought it was odd that she had the 1, 2, 3 thing on there. So right. Well, I know it's, I mean, I think that what we have to do, yeah, and I've had this issue before, to be perfectly honest. So I'm thinking that we have to pick our 3 choices and submit that. And then we're kind of, you can proceed with yours, but I think the others are kind of going to have to wait. I'll ask her if we need to wait to do that. But the contract, I pulled up the contract and the contract rubric, and that we can at least start on, and I can post a first draft by Wednesday. I can post a first draft right now. It's just that there are a lot of components to it. So I've done a lot, and I can read through what I've done a lot. And then there's 2 areas left. One is, or there's 3, established and defined benchmarks, and then dates and deadlines, where we're actually going to list out the dates and deadlines. And then the only other thing is a paragraph based on conflict resolution, but I have a conflict resolution plan. So let's do this. I will post in the group thing when we hang up that you and I had a meeting. We were unable, I'll put, you know, hello, whatever her name is, the last one we're waiting to hear from. We were able to meet without you. I hope everything is well, you know, make it nice. These are our choices. Let us know if you agree. And then for the group the business scenario, I'll send an email for those 2 clarifications to Professor Perez, and then I can put in there below, find the meeting minutes, and I'll put down what we talked about and what we're going to do. And if you agree, let us know, and if you disagree, let us know. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I think she'll probably log on and go, oh crap, whatever you guys say. I mean, I'm hoping that's what she'll do. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Right. I think so too. Mm-hmm. I know. I know. I know, it's not very interesting. I know, seriously, huh? Well, why don't I do this? I'll do that. I'll send that email, and then what we did in the past is the first week we all chatted. We didn't have everybody, but thankfully the last person joined in. And I kind of did a synopsis. This is where we're at, and I'll do that. And then if you could just at some point, I'll get it done within, I don't know, by 9 o'clock tonight. If you could at some point tonight or tomorrow just log on and say that you agree with everything, and then there's two of us. Okay, so I'll send you oh, okay. So then I'll send you a text once I have it up so you can see it. But let me just read. Is it okay if I read you what I've got and see what you think? Oh, I was gonna, is it okay if I read to you what I've got so far and just get your opinion on it? So the first thing I did is I did get clarification because she only had 4 modules listed on the contract. So I clarified, but we do have to have assignments for all of them. So I increased it so it's 3 through 7. 8, we don't do group work. And then I added group posting at the end. So we've got leader, facilitator, member, scribe, group posting. And which means we're going to have more than one job during the week, but that's fine. And different people have more different weeks, which is fine. So like I put in my name for module 3 as scribe and group posting, and then as module 4 for facilitator, and then in 5 and 6, when I think I'm going to have the biggest problems, I put myself as a member. So what I'll do is when I post it, I'll say fill in the blanks. You choose what roles you want to do and then repost. And so I'll put them highlighted, and then you go in and you pick yours, and then the next person picks theirs. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, so you want to, do you want to do leader and scribe? Okay, for those 2 weeks. Okay, that would be great, Mary Pat. It'll make me feel better. Okay, well, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get on. I'm not so much worried when I'm in Ananato Bay. It's when we take the rural road down to Princess Margaret Hospital, and they don't even have internet at the hospital, that I'm going to be kind of dark for a couple days. But I'll be sending you texts periodically, let you know what's up, and hopefully it'll work. Okay. Okay. There you go. So do you have a preference on module 3 and 4, what you want to do, and 7 then? Do you want to be a member or facilitator? But well, the very last end of 4, but I mean, we'll have the work done by the time I leave Friday night. I'll have everything done. So it's really 5 and 6 that are my biggest concern. Okay. Okay, well, so why don't I'm just going to plug you in a few places, and if you don't like it, change it. How's that? Always, always, always. Okay, and then I'll leave question marks on the other ones so that somebody could plug in if they have to. And then so so that's roles and responsibilities, and I'll do that. And then dates and deadlines. So they wanted, I read through the rubric as well. So what I put under dates and deadlines, I put general expectations. As much of the work assigned is dependent upon group consensus, all group members will log on no later than Monday of each week. In the event we have not heard from a member by the established time, 8 p.m. Arizona time Monday night, the remaining members will make any necessary decisions and divide tasks. As each member has challenges in their schedule, Group 5 accepts that at times individuals may be unable to log on timely. Any individual who is unable to timely log on agrees to accept their given assignment without argument. No, actually, I was raised Catholic. So then I put, then the next little line is weekly group hangouts are voluntary and are to be held through Google Hangout on Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. Arizona time. And I will get you instructions on how to get on. I have it somewhere. Okay. And I know what, you know what, it's learning. It's all learning. And then I put team members agree to make every possible effort. Oh, I already put that on Monday on my friends. So that one's already on it. So that's under dates and deadlines. Now, I did not do a paragraph under established and defined benchmarks. So that still needs to be done. But I did do the code of conduct and accountability. And for that I wrote, and I took it off of our code of conduct and accountability from the school. So I put all team members of Group 5 agree to adhere to the highest ethical standards in education, research, and clinical practice, and refrain from behaviors that would be in violation of the University of Arizona's Code of Academic Integrity. Throughout all interaction, verbal or nonverbal, all team members in Group 5 agree to keep their postings clear and concise and will be respectful of others' opinions at all times. Members of Group 5 will keep their discussions scholarly and topic-focused. Only constructive feedback will be offered between Group 5 and all team members. Does that sound good? And then for conflict resolution, what I have is if all attempts to come to unified agreement fail, conflicts will be determined by majority vote. In the event of a split vote, the designated leader for that module will have the overriding vote. Oh. Yeah, which paragraphs you mean are we missing? Established and defined benchmarks. Well, what the rubric says for it, it says group has embedded a plan to benchmark group progress. So I don't know, they want us to do some sort of a check for group progress. My thought was that established defined benchmarks could be something like a draft of assignment to be posted no later than Wednesday night by scribe, final to be completed by Friday night, something like that. Group progress. Well, I hear what you're saying totally. Well, I get it. You know, it said one thing that described it said dates, deadlines, and benchmarks of measures of quality contribution. So I'm like, okay, so if it's a benchmark of measured quality contribution, it could say, one, we could say by these dates, and then the second thing we could say is content provided by individuals is evidence-based and references are available upon request or something like that. Scholarly references. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So who polices that? Yeah, yeah, against other groups retreat. I think that she's going to tell us the group has to do it. So let's ask her if it's against other groups or against each other. So what I would suggest is what we probably have to do is say our benchmarks are that our established and defined benchmarks are that XYZ with the posting. But I think when I read the rubric, when it says a plan to benchmark groups progress, I think they're going to want us to do a midway check, like facilitator will do a midweek check to make sure we're on progress or on within our stated timelines to meet our goals. I think we're going to have to do both the scholarly thing and then a weekly progress thing. And then right, and yeah, absolutely. So I'll see what I can do with that. And then the only other thing is I'm not sure what they mean by dates and deadlines. Do they want us to actually go through the schedule and say this is due this day or this is due that day? Or do we just say the primary draft is due this day, the final draft is due this day? I know. I think they tend to do that in master's programs. They tend to give you a little direction because there's often not really a right or wrong way, which is very hard for those of us who are anal and very linear. And then you sort of go for it, and if you get too far off track, they ring you in. But I've seen totally different things posted, and both groups get A's because it's their interpretation of what's being done. So I don't know that we'll get too far off track, but if I'm posting, they should be watching what we're posting. So if I do this post tonight and I do a post of a preliminary contract and then you comment and based on our meeting, and I'll say that, and then you comment on it and we're going, and she sees us going way off track, her job should be to step in and guide us back. Right, right. Yeah, I feel the same way. Of course. Yes, absolutely. Mm. Right. Right. Well, I've been doing this for about 30 years, and I've had many opportunities to go into management and avoided it for as long as possible. I finally had an orthopedic surgeon talk me into taking over running the surgery center because they were doing a joint venture. So but it's been a lot of baptism by fire, because not only we were the first joint venture in Adventist Health. So you're talking 700 facilities nationwide, and we were the first one. You never want to be the first one. So I was not only, the director of surgery, but I was the administrator for the joint venture. So it was baptism by fire, learning, how to read contracts and how to do financial sheets or read financial sheets. And I kept finding things wrong. We'd hired back the hospital as our management company, and I'm like, and they would say, well, the numbers don't lie. And I said several times, it was several different things. I know the numbers don't lie, but human beings input these numbers and these don't make sense. And so we struggled and floundered for a while, finally got a really great executive team in place, and they're like, you're right, these numbers are off. And so we're finally kind of getting underway, but it was like, I didn't know what I didn't know kind of thing. So I've learned a lot. I miss patient care. I do it a little bit now, but not near what I would like to be doing. But I will say, Adventist Health has always been on the forefront of medicine. So they are, 5 years ago, we established a just culture. We've been doing, every director has a monthly budget meeting. We all read financial sheets. So I know I'm way ahead of the game compared to other companies. So it's been really great. But the flip side is they do a ton of community service, which is great. Don't get me wrong. It's been a wonderful thing for me, but it's a lot of extra work. Oh yeah, being a volunteer is a very expensive thing to do. So it's a missionary is even more so, and I only do it for 2 weeks at a time. There are those that I work with who go away for a month or two at a time. So it's been really a growth process for me. I took over in 2009, and I feel like it was yesterday. But I'm really grateful for your business experience. So that'll be a really good balance for me. It'll be very helpful. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.